But the battles of the Lionesses and the Falcons ended goalless, so we'll have to wait till Monday to decide who will get into the final round of the Olympic qualifier for Paris 2024 games. And also the D Tigers, they are in action against Libya at the end of the second quarter, that second half. It was 40-35. D Tigers are fighting to stay in the game. Welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos.
In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. Sporty greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. Cecilia, I thought it was a decent result for the Super Falcons right there in Douala. They played against a very biased, official. Commentary was against the Super Falcons. The fans, of course, were supporting the indomitable Lionesses. But Coach Randy Waldrum's team found a way to stay focused, showed maturity, played a scoreless draw. So on Monday, they have to prove a point when they take on Cameroon again in Abuja, and I think they can do just enough to win that one. So yes, that's one we'll be looking forward to. And of course, so much coming up right here in Europe. There's the English Premier League, there's the Carabao Cup final, action-packed world of sports.
Is loaded tonight. We're not just going to be talking about the Super Falcons and D Tigers alone. The police games will get our attention because the 14th edition is starting this weekend. And also touchdown on NPFL games for this weekend is hotting up. And the CAF Confederation Cup, yes, you still have a Nigerian team, the Rivers United. They're playing on Sunday. We'll talk about them. And of course, as Austin mentioned earlier, we'll be taking a look at the English Premier League and the EFL Cup final. Chelsea and Liverpool will also be in action this weekend. So much. And then we'll also pay tribute to the record holder in terms of marathon who died on the 11th of February. We'll be talking about Kiptum on the program tonight. Yes, it's a loaded package. But first of all, let's start off with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Yes, that's what happened this evening, where they went to Douala in Cameroon and it ended goalless. Well, you would say the confirmation of the result right there. The Falcons and the Lionesses, it ended goalless. Yes, how it all started, Austin, it was all about the Falcons starting early, trying to get into the business of the game, but somehow it just wasn't to be because a goal was ruled offside. Jennifer was deemed offside. That didn't happen. And of course, you have Chiamaka Nnadozie also, one of the safest hands, also getting a shot on one of the best moments of the game was actually that save, and it ended goalless at the end of the day. Jennifer Echejine, she was deemed offside in that just 5 minutes into the second half. That was how this game ended goalless. Tony Payne had an opportunity to actually score. It was wasted, but then, well, goalless. That's what happened in Douala this evening. And of course, return leg will be in Abuja on Monday.
Yeah, Cecilia, as I said in my opening statement, I thought it was a decent performance by the Super Falcons. The Cameroonians kept it tight in the middle. I think they tried to also catch the Super Falcons on the counter. Fantastic save by Chiamaka Nnadozie. She was in our spotlight yesterday on the show, and we gave her all our flowers. It seems she watched the show and said, okay, Nigerians, I will not disappoint. Top drawer save by Chiamaka Nnadozie to keep the Super Falcons in the game. The goal that was ruled offside, I thought it was a decent call also. But the referee, I don't like calling out referees, but I think the referee got intimidated. The referee made some biased calls, I think for women's football to grow, there should be some level of, fair play. People should not make it so obvious that it's win at all costs. I also follow the commentary, and yes, some will argue that it was a Cameroonian broadcast, but I think as people, as a professional in this industry, when we have a chance to, represent the game in any way, let's always remember that the game is fair play. The commentary was so biased, pulling down the Super Falcons, lifting up the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. But hey, at the end of the day, no goals. We have a game on our hands on Monday. I think Coach Randy Waldrum and his team should sit down, look at this game. I also believe if they get early goals on Monday, they can actually become rampant, because that's the Super Falcons for you. When they catch you early, they keep punishing you. till they seal it off. But I'm super duper confident that this team will make it to the final round of the qualifiers for the Paris Olympics, Cecilia.
I love that confidence. Dotu Ogunbiade is joining us via Zoom on the program tonight. Dotu, I mean, you saw the game between Cameroon and Nigeria. It ended goalless. So much and all to play for on Monday in Abuja.
Well, good evening, Cici. Well, like you rightly said just now, talking about the game between the Nigerian national team for the Super Falcons that ended in a goalless draw. We are all expecting that it's going to be a win for them going to Cameroon. You know, they've been actually they've been a boogie team to the Nigerian national team, but in all, we often get the better of them when we actually fight out on the field of play. But this time around, it's ended in a stalemate, so the officiating may not be what we all want to talk about. But we know too well that when the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be returning to Nigeria on Monday, when they will be taking on the Slaves, and I think it's going to be a roller coaster victory for them. I want to believe, because if you check history in between these two teams, ever since we've been playing against each other, it has always been either we go to Cameroon, we played out a 1-0, 2-1 victory in favor of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, but returning to Nigeria, we always beat them black and blue. Even in major tournaments that we square up against each other, it has always been the Super Falcons all the way, except for a few times that they got the better of the Nigerian female national team.
Yeah, and one of it is still very painful. Why we didn't go to the London Games, the London 2012 Games. It was Cameroon that stopped Nigeria in that one. So all to play for. Who waits for Monday? What's going to happen? But in other results across Africa, where the CAF Women's Olympic qualifying tournament is taking place, after Ghana and Zambia, it was Zambia going all the way to Accra, Ghana, to beat Ghana by a lone goal. And the game between Tunisia and Morocco ended in favor of Morocco. Morocco winning 2-1 against Tunisia away from home also. And South Africa went to Tanzania to beat Tanzania 3-0. And of course, their captain, Thembi Gatlana, was on the score sheet. You also have Hilda Magaya and German Superfowe also scoring 3-0. And the winner of that game between Tanzania and South Africa will be the team that will be facing. Return leg for them, it's on leg for South Africa, and of course Tanzania will be on a Tuesday. So they will be waiting for the winner. We'll have to be waiting for the winner between that to know who we will be facing. And for Zambia and Morocco, their game, Zambia-Ghana, the game is on Wednesday, and Tunisia-Morocco, that game is also on Wednesday. So Nigeria is playing early on Monday. The other games are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So two teams will be representing Africa in Paris for the football and women's events. All right, let's leave the Super Falcons. Austin, or you want to chip in on something because of the South Africa resounding win away from home?
I was, you know, Cecilia, I didn't want to, you know, bring it out properly, but I was just say, let's just get ready for Nigeria and South Africa, and that will be a cracker of a game. but let's give Zambia their flowers, Cecilia, right from the last Africa Women's Cup of Nations that they finished third. Look at the progress Zambia is making with their women's football, you know, and I love it so much. That's progression. That's sustaining the momentum. Them going to Ghana to pick an away win. Ghana might do something in the second leg, but for now, let's give Zambia their flowers. For Nigeria, stay focused, beats Cameroon very well, teach them a lesson. You're as good as your last game, so that when South Africa wants to go watch your last game, they'll start trembling before they come play you.
But I'm sure when I was talking about South Africa result, we were smiling because it's not easy for a team. It went all the way to Dar es Salaam to get all 3 points, not just getting the win, but also the fact that they scored 3 goals. And all their top players, Hilda, Gatlana, and Jermaine, all of them were on the score sheet.
This is what you expect from a big team like South Africa when it comes to female football in Africa. You know, when you talk about the Super Falcons, the Cameroonian female national team, you also talk about the South African their female national team. Because when it comes to history of African Cup of Nations in women category, They've always been doing well. They've always been a thorn in the flesh of the Nigerian female national team. So they going down to Tanzania to get the better of Tanzania by 3-0 is not surprising. It is an expected result. At this being Tanzania has actually done otherwise, I would say that that is a surprise. But for South Africa, they did the expected, and that was indeed a very great, wonderful one for them.
All right, we'll wait for Monday what the Super Falcons can do against the indomitable Lioness of Cameroon. Fingers crossed in that one, because so much and all to play for. Now, let's quickly go to the continent where Rivers United, yes, they're still there, talking about the CAF Confederation score. We'll just get confirmation of the fixtures of what is going to go down on Sunday, if we can have that quickly, where the Rivers United will be in action against the team that is actually at the bottom of the group, Lobito. They defeated them in Rivers in Port Harcourt when they played the first leg in Nigeria, 3-0, and now Rivers United will be going away to actually see what they can do about that. Austin, I mean, Rivers United happens to be a team, when you look at how they started this qualifier round, you know, a Club African in that group is topping, but you're facing a team like Academical, you know, of Angola. Yes, they are at the bottom of that group. They haven't won a game. The first leg ended 3-0. Rivers, after 4 games, they've won 2, they've lost 2. This is another opportunity for them to see how they can actually climb out of that 3rd place they are in the group and get good points from Academical of Angola, who are bottom of that group. Yeah, I mean, let me throw it to you, Dotun, because as Austin mentioned, Rivers United, it seems they have it very difficult when they're playing away from home. I mean, the misses from the goalkeeper to the defense line. I mean, you're trying to play from the back and you don't have that firepower. Rather, you're not focused. You're not thinking right, because those mistakes are mistakes. Sometimes you could say schoolboy errors, or they were not just, the presence of mind wasn't there in those goals that they conceded against Club African. And now they actually have their destiny in their hands. If you're winning this and then expecting Club African and Dreams FC of Ghana, obviously Dreams FC, yes, they have 9 points. But if they win this, I mean, that's 9 points, of course. The last game against Dream FC, all they have to do is to see how they can get it all. So right now, they have opportunities to qualify. And of course, Academical is next for them on Sunday.
Of course, Austin is right. When you're actually playing in the continental football, what you need to do is always make sure you keep it tight when you're on the go. And when you fail to do that, what you get to see is either defeat or maybe you get a draw. But for the Nigerian contingent on the continent, they've not been fantastic on the road. And for them to actually get to the next round of the tournament, like you just said now, they actually need to get the better of the team they'll be playing, talking about Academica. And their fate right now is not really in their hands, owing to the fact that if the 2 guys that will be squaring up against each other, talking about the Club African and Dream FC, played out a draw in between the 2 of them, definitely they still actually needs to do everything possible within their own capacity. Like I said the other time, that their fate is no more in their hands when the result actually pan out like that. And for them, I believe that they should actually get this one. Having won by 3-0 when they came to Nigeria during the first leg, I think they will be able to actually pick from there and get the better of their opponent. But when it comes to continental football, what you need to do is to always make sure that you convert your chances and you keep it tight at the back.
All right, that's what they need to do. Let's just get you confirmation of what we'll be talking about earlier. That's the Group C standing. What is like for Rivers United. Club African, of course, up to this, they're topping the group, 9 points. They've won 3 out of 4, losing just 1. For Dream FC of Ghana, after 4 matches, they've won 3 and just 1 loss also. And of course, they are also on 9 points. The reason why Club African is stopping because of the goal difference of 6. And you go to Rivers United, goal difference non-0. And of course, they've won 2 games, losing 2. And as I mentioned earlier, the Angolan side, after 4 games, they're yet to have anything, losing all 4, and the goal difference of -3. And that's why they don't have a point here. But for Rivers United, they know what to do. All they have to do is to see how they can actually, get a result. And if they're able to do that, of course, they will have something to look forward to. All right, let's leave that and quickly move on to the next one. That's talking about Nigeria Premier Football League games for this weekend. Austin, I'm going to start off with you here. I mean, Doma and Enugu Rangers will be in action. You have so many games, this weekend. Saturday and Sunday is full, is packed. Doma United, Enugu Rangers, Kwara United will be in action against Casina. Benda Insurance and Enyimba, I know that's the one that will get us talking more. That's on Saturday. And you move over to Sunday, the games that you have, Gombe United and Sporting Lagos will be in action. Plateau United and Shooting Stars also in action. Kano Pillars and Sunshine Stars, Lobby Stars and Heartland, and Niger Tornadoes and Abia Warriors. These are the games for this weekend. I mean, let's start off with Doma United, for instance. I know that's a team that is really after your heart because of their performance last season and also this season against Enugu Rangers, who got the better of Aqua United when Aqua United came visiting last weekend.
Doma United, they've shown that they're small but mighty. They've shown that if you do the right things in terms of football management, you'll get the results. As you mentioned, yes, they won my heart last season, and this season they've also gone away to pick some points. They've beaten decent teams also. Against Rivers United in their last game, they lost 3-2 Cecilia, but they put up a good fight. Now against Rangers, they need to prove a point. I think last season they did, I think, a double or took 4 points off Rangers. So that makes it a fixture for us to follow. Doma lost their last match. Rangers won their last game against Aqua United. So Doma will be looking for ways to get back to relevance on the group table. They were in the top 3, but now they've dropped. I think they're 5th or 6th. So this is a game of importance to them. So I would like to see how they will respond. I know they are not scared of the big teams, but Rangers also, with that win over Aqua United, if they can get something on the road or even win this one, then their season will get some level of spark that they need, to have a decent finish this season. I hope we get to see good football. Yeah. I hope we get to see good goals. With Doma United, you never say never. They've been schooling a lot of the big teams that come to the Pantami Stadium in Gombe. They've been showing, Gombe United how to use that ground effectively. So they're a very good side. I also like to see Bendel Insurance and Enyimba. That's a big game all day, every day.
Yeah.
We're talking about league football in Nigeria. So that will be one that will definitely get us talking. But I know we'll need to go on a break. So, Cecilia, let's go on this break. When we come back, I'll tell you the other fixtures that will get us talking, particularly Plateau United, the Peace Boys. That's one team people aren't taking a good look at. They might just spring a surprise this season. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're previewing matchday 21 of the Nigeria Premier Football League. And I was telling you that the game between Bendel Insurance and Enyimba will be one that will be good for the league. Because if you take a look at even the table, Bendel Insurance, they are 8th on the log with 30 points. They are playing at home. If they win this one, they get 33 points and they will climb. They might even climb as far as 5th if Plateau United don't win against Shooting Stars. Now, Enyimba, they're 3rd on the log with 35 points. And if they win that one, they might just be going on top of the league table if Lobby Stars and Remo Stars don't get to win. So that's what you see. It's interesting. Matchday 21 will definitely get us talking. Which of the games are you looking forward to?
Of course, if you ask me over and over, I will always talk about my darling Sunshine Stars, but I will also talk about the game between Bendel Insurance and Enyimba International. It is the game we are all looking out for. Remember, last season, Bendel Insurance, they actually took us by surprise. They actually went on a season long without getting defeated and getting into the Super 6 tournaments. They were unable to register any victory to actually perform like they did during the course of the regular season. But for Enyimba International, like you rightly said just now, they are actually third on the league log and they are doing everything possible to remain in the continent because it has actually been best. They've been the best team when it comes to continental football in Nigerian league history. So let's actually keep our fingers crossed and look out for what happened between these two teams. Bendel Insurance have told they will always actually want to give their fans something to take home. And Enyimba International, they know what is at stake. The season is actually winding off gradually. Matchday 21, within a twinkle of an eye, you see ourselves at the end of the season. Like I rightly said the other time, I can't do without talking about Sunshine Stars are up against Kano Pillars. Kano, you know that they have their fortress, their home ground is a place where they actually take all commands to the cleaners, except for a few games, they've actually not get the maximum 3 point this season. But for Sunshine Stars, they've actually not been doing wonderfully well in the league this season. If you look at their position on the league log, they are not among the top teams. As I speak to you, they occupy 15th position. They are actually beckoning at the relegation rather than taking claims for maybe title or striving to qualify for the continent. So for them, I think I would not say it is a win-win for Kano Pillars. I would like to see Sunshine sort of Akure give a fight against the Kano Pillars over there in Kano. So it's really going to be a weekend of tricky encounters in the Nigerian Premier League.
Yeah, a whole lot, a tricky encounter everywhere. All right, now let's talk about the D Tigers. At the end of third quarter, it's now 60-40. It's a 10-point game going into the final quarter. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the first quarter, it was like a blow. I mean, the Libyans actually came into a 10-point run they gave to Nigeria at first, but somehow the D Tigers were able to close in, and it ended 16-25 in the first quarter. And the second quarter was 19-15. The D Tigers won the second quarter, coming out blazing. So at halftime, it was 35-40, with, of course, Libya leading. And right now, at the end of the third quarter, is 60-50, 10-point game for Libya, who played in the pre-qualifier game against Cameroon, against Morocco, 2 games just last weekend. So they are in the tournament while Nigeria is just warming up. Well, Austin, we're happy that finally they were able to travel down. And that's number one first. The fact that they're not missing out this window, while we have to wait for November, February. But this time around, I mean, they're there. That's a plus for the boys, likes of Mike Anuga, Devin Ake, Michael Afuakbe, Ibe Agu, and Brett Akwete are all the players, the 5 starters for Nigeria that were on court when the first half started. I mean, Coach Mohammed is doing a lot, you know, for these boys, and they're ready to really play for him, especially the way they came back in that second quarter against Libya.
Can you imagine, Cecilia, when you paused, I was saying, oh, thank you, goodness. Cecilia will not ask me about these D Tigers. We'll go to police games. And so she's going to take that broadcast pause, catch a breath, and then we move on. And now you're coming to come and tell me that Nigeria, the D Tigers of Nigeria, have to come back against Libya. And now they are fighting a 10-point game in the third quarter against Libya. These guys have destroyed our basketball. They don't care. They're not ashamed. We are saying, thank God that we made it to Tunisia, a crucial Afro-basket qualifier at the dying minute. At the late, what do you expect from such a team, Cecilia? Yeah,
that's why I'm calling it a warm-up game. Like they're warming up with this. I mean, they're warming up with this because you're playing a team that plays a qualifying tournament.
It's here. 90% of winning is mentality.
Yes,
these guys aren't ready mentally. You know, they just went there to represent the country, do it for their career, get some exposure. That's all. But mentally, they are not prepared to win. You know, I always say it, that 80% of the time, if you see a team that is ready to win, they win before they step into the field or the court or wherever, because of the level of preparation that they've had, particularly in terms of the mental work that has gone into the team. I told you, I spoke to some guys at the World Cup. They're from France, and I was saying, what is it about this team? You guys have all your big players out. They told me, they said they'll get to the final. That they are prepared mentally, that the Shams know the team. Same thing with one Argentine journalist I spoke to. You lost to Saudi Arabia, and people are confident because before the World Cup, they had prepared themselves mentally on how to go and execute that mission. So, Cecilia, I don't know. You call it warm-up game. It's fine now. Yeah. They're playing the qualifiers in Tunisia, but they are struggling against Libya. Cecilia, Libya.
Yes, it's Libya.
In basketball. Libya, basketball.
Earlier today, the other group game, Nigeria's group, you have the Blue Sharks talking about Cape Verde and Uganda. It ended in favor of Cape Verde, 78-73. Cape Verde winning that one. We're facing Uganda on Saturday, and on Sunday we'll wrap it up with Cape Verde. We'll see what we can get out of this window of the qualifiers for the AfroBasket at 2025. All right, let's leave that. Maybe before the end of the show, they will be done with the final. We'll be able to give you the result, and hopefully they can come back from that 10 points deficit going into that game. All right, police games. Yes, the 14th edition will be taking place in Oyo State, Ibadan. And this year, about 38 events, including Miss Martial Arts, MMA. That's what I'm really interested in. And these are police games. 4,000 athletes, over 4,000 athletes will be taking part. They're going to be having basketball, boxing, table tennis, badminton, wrestling, swimming, all the sporting events. So 38 in all. And of course, according to the police public relations officer Muyiwa Adejobi, he said that the theme for these events is competing for peace, unity, stability and development of the country. And we know what the police have actually done in terms of grooming athletes for Nigeria over the years. Police games is coming again. I mean, the 14th edition this year at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan, starting from tomorrow to 2nd of March. This is what they're trying to do, grooming athletes for the country, and also staying fit is all in all. But that theme is something I'm picking from: competing for peace, unity, stability, and development of the country.
That's good.
What a nice one from the police is, if you look at it very well over the years, we've actually seen the police produce a whole lot of athletes. I feel they are not compact.
Okay.
We say kudos to them, the organizing these tournaments. And if you look at athletes that will actually be participating in this particular one, and like you rightly said, just now calling my attention to the team of the tournament, actually competing for peace and stability for the nation. If you look at it, there is, I wouldn't say there is chaos in the nation, but there are a lot of instability all around in the nation. And if the police can be properly informed and equipped for actually maintaining peace within our country, definitely a very good one. And for the game itself, I see it to be a very, very big and encouraging one coming from the police department of Nigeria.
Yeah. Austin police games here again. I mean, it's biannual every 2 years. That's where they host these, and the Lekon Salami Stadium will see more than 4,000 athletes in this one.
I love it, Cecilia. This is the 14th edition. I remember before I left the country, I covered the last one before COVID broke, and it was a good one. I want to commend everyone that has done their bit to sustain this. Our sports, our police officials have done so well for the country in giving us sports stars, legendary Chioma, John, Sunday, Bada. You can go on and on and on. They are all from the Nigeria Police Force, and it is this sort of games that will keep it going. Let's listen to some of the talking points coming out of the Nigeria Police biennial games. They are set for the 2024 edition.
For many years, we've been at the forefront of projecting and producing and projecting talents in all sports areas, arena in Nigeria, and beyond this country. Globally, the Nigerian Police Force has produced a very large number of athletes in football, in hall. Talk of any game you want to talk of in the whole world. So we are coming together, converging on Ibadan, Oluyole, to have the 14th biennial police games. We know that if you are not mentally fit, you cannot discharge your duty as a police officer or as a security agent. Our mission, our intention is to make sure we come together to do this game and to identify good talents again that will support Nigerian government in producing good hands and good brains that will develop our sport in this country. Oluyole 2024, we bring together more than 4,000 athletes that will participate in various games. Talk of all recognized games across the globe. We are going to do that, except those games that we will not have facility for in Ibadan here. But we are going to have almost all certified games, all recognized games: swimming, football, boxing, mixed martial arts, lawn tennis, table tennis, badminton, wrestling. Talk of all games, we're going to have participants in some of all these games. We have more women are coming in this time around. We must have adequate gender inclusivity so that we can have it all round, so that the whole world can know that the police is highly gender sensitive. Anytime we're having any football tournament, you know that there won't be crisis. Every Nigerian will come together and brace yourself. Even your closest, the strongest enemy you're going to have. When Osimhen throws that ball in the net, you are going to hug the one you think is the number one enemy you're having. Sport goes a long way. It cements unity, and that's why we have been able to get this the theme for Oluyole 2024. Is important. It's very key and it's very strategic for people to know we are not just converging on Ibadan. It goes beyond mere competition, and the theme again is competing for peace, unity, stability, and development of Nigeria.
Competing for peace, unity, stability, and development of Nigeria. I keep saying it, that sports has got the power to transform lives and keep us united as a people. Good job from the Nigerian police, and I just hope that this game will be done according to the principles of fair play, keep our police officials fit to combat crime in the society. Cecilia, it seems that the Tigers are fighting. I see them doing well now in the fourth quarter. And now it is 68-66. They might just do just enough to go on to win it. But hey, I'm not here to glorify any mediocrity. Yeah. It's Libya. When they play Uganda and play Cape Verde, hopefully if we qualify, we'll learn from our lessons.
That's it. I hope we learn, but we never do, especially when it comes to basketball. All right, let's quickly go to the English Premier League big games for this weekend. Starting up with a Saturday, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest to be in action. Brighton Everton will also be in action. Crystal Palace, Burnley, Manchester United and Fulham, Arsenal and Newcastle United will also be in action. And on Sunday, you have Wolves and Sheffield United. And then, of course, the big one, EFL. But then let's talk about Arsenal quickly, because the coach is saying that to push for the title, not just about the players, but also everyone, the fans, everyone will have to come to the party to see how they can actually nick this one, because they need this one more than anything. And it's been 20 years. Let's take a listen to Mikel Arteta talking ahead of the game against Newcastle. Yes, it's a big one for them.
That's the reaction that we need, and we want to create an atmosphere in the stadium from the beginning. And I ask everybody to go there tomorrow night with full energy, because the team is going to need it. And we are in a really good moment in the Premier League, and we want to continue to be there. And tomorrow's game is vital to achieve that. So we can do better, the team to play better, the crowd to be even more energetic with us in every single ball. And that's what we have to build tomorrow. With every club, there is always a history. There is always what happened before, what is going to happen next, and we know the importance of the game, and we just focus on what we have to do. Even them as well, they have changed a little bit. I think they have a few players that they might not be available. The same with us. So let's see, every game is very different, and the approach sometimes away and at home can change.
Can you change the approach? It's important. Dr. Arsenal up against Newcastle. That's a game that I know that will light up Saturday's games.
Of course, you're right. If you remember what happened between these two teams in the reverse fixture, and a whole lot of footballing fans out there did cry out that the officiating was indeed terrible. But actually coming into this particular one, if you look at the current form of Arsenal, what they've been able to do in the last 5 games they've actually played. They've scored 21 goals and have conceded less. Or not the only game they lost this year so far was the game against Porto in the UEFA Champions League, losing by lone goal in that particular one. But coming into this one, they actually, like the coach is actually saying to the fans that they should all come out to actually cheer them to victory tomorrow evening. But I believe that it's really going to be very, very difficult for Arsenal. If you look at Newcastle, the way they actually been playing this season, and if you look at what they've been able to do last season, coming up against bigger opposition, they actually have a way, they have set their team. And for Arsenal, it has always been massive attack, all attack, playing forward and making sure they actually nick a victory against their opponent. But it's going to be pretty difficult for them. But all they need to do to actually keep pushing for the title this season. The last time they won the trophy was 20 years ago, 2004. And if they actually can lay their hands on the trophy this season, it's really going to be wonderful for the team. It will actually be like they are marking 20 years of not winning the title by winning the title.
Interesting. Austin, I know. Newcastle, Eddie Howe happens to be someone who understands the game very well, but this season hasn't been a good one for them, especially with the injuries that actually cropped up. But right now, 2 of their major strikers are back into the squad.
As you know, so that's a good striking, boost for Eddie Howe and Newcastle. But remember, they defeated Arsenal in the first game. I think it ended 1-0 in controversial circumstances. So Mikel Arteta has pushed his team now to say, look, go get back those points that you lost in ways that you didn't expect. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 5 Premier League matches. In those 5 matches, Cecilia, they have scored 21 goals. Indeed, red hot gunners. So it will be very, very difficult for Newcastle at the Emirates to, run over Arsenal. But we know football where anything can happen. Let's listen to Eddie Howe. There's a striking boost for him, and then he's going to, see ways that he can use it against Arsenal.
They've trained this week. It's been good to see them back on the grass. Been a long time for Joe, but he's a huge player for us. It's been great to see him back in amongst the group. Very popular member of the squad. So yeah, really pleased for him this week. With Alex, again, really important player. He's trained very well, so yeah, we're happy with both players. We will need to replicate close to our best performance in order to get something from the game. I think we've had some really good games against Arsenal in recent seasons, very tight affairs. Last season at the Emirates was a really battling performance from us. Defensively, we're going to need to be improved than we have been in recent weeks. So that's the challenge for us. I think Arsenal this season have been very, very good in every aspect of the game. Statistically, one of the best teams in the league. They're rightly where they are in the table, so a big challenge for us.
Austin, okay.
Yeah.
I'm eager to actually talk about this because let's just quickly get this out. 74-72. And what does that mean? Right. Nigeria taking the lead. It's 2 minutes to the end of final quarter. That's the 4th quarter. The Tigers taking the lead. So these boys are really ready. Training or no training, they're ready to kick it off and get something out of this one. So we'll just give that to them.
Can you calm down? I don't know what you're talking about. They came back in the 2nd quarter, lost 3rd quarter 20-15 to Libya. Now they're busting the 1st quarter 25-12 points, and that's why they are leading 75-72. Shout out to Mike Noga. He has 26 points, 6 rebounds, and I think 3 assists. So he's having a good game. But as I said, Cecilia,
we know
Libya.
Well, can we? I don't know what's going to happen, but can we? Whatever happens, we can celebrate unity victory. The fact that they are playing like they are warming up for the tournament, and then they are playing their first game, and then they are playing like this. That fight is what I love in the boys, and that's what I'm celebrating the team for. Okay. Not those who are responsible for the administration of the game, but the boys who traveled the middle of the night last night to Tunisia. They arrived 5 hours to the kick-off game and then had to lace their boots, get on court, and they are playing their hearts out. That's what I'm happy about. Okay, quickly, Liverpool-Chelsea in action this weekend. I know you're not happy, but I'm happy. I'm happy for the boys. Liverpool-Chelsea this weekend. EFL, it's opportunity for Chelsea to win anything this season. Can they do that, Austin? I know you're in London. Are you going to go watch the game on the Wembley?
Yeah, I thought I was going to watch it, but there's the public display for Richard Riakpo, and that's got some Nigeria interest. He's getting ready for a big title fight, so I will be there. But Poch and a lot of Chelsea fans believe that they can do a quick one against Liverpool, and win a trophy. And something about winning trophies, if Chelsea wins the trophy tomorrow or Sunday, rather, it will just turn things around for this club. They're not doing badly, but I think they've gone through a lot of brain surgery, and they're just trying to get, back to, the whole of everything that is happening.
Right.
So it's a cup final. You know what it is. It's Chelsea, it's Liverpool, it's a big one. Let the best team win.
Best team win quickly. Dotun, quickly, a quick one on this one before I let you go. Chelsea, Liverpool, who is winning it? Your prediction?
Well, I think it's really going to be pretty difficult for Chelsea, but I don't want to actually put my money on Chelsea this time around. Liverpool, they've been actually firing from all cylinders. Even their last game, they got the better of Luton by 4-1. And if you check Chelsea, though they actually struggled to get a 1-1 draw against Manchester City, but you can actually not dwell on that, owing to the fact that they've not been fantastic this season. But the last time they both played against each other in a cup final like this, it ended in favor of Liverpool, winning 6-5 in the penalty shootout.
Penalty shootout. All right, Dr. thank you so much for joining us on Zoom tonight.
Thank you very much as well.
Austin, we got to go, but before we leave, we have to pay tribute to this marathon record holder, Kelvin Kiptum, who died 11th of February. The funeral was done today, and top athlete dignitaries, Sebastian Coe, that's a World Athletics president, was also in attendance, and the president of Kenya was also there, William Ruto. I mean, dignitaries all across, all athletes were there to pay the last respect. So dozens of athletes, including the 1,500 record holder, Faith Kipyegon, was also part of the team. David Rudisha, two-time Olympic 800 meters champion, he was also there paying his last respect. So this 24-year-old who broke the marathon record held by Eliud Kipchoge, that was in October in Chicago, slicing that 34 seconds off in 2 hours 35 seconds. He died on the day we were playing the final of the Africa Cup of Nations in a car crash. And today was the funeral service held in Kenya. It was a lot of dignitaries were there for this one. Austin, roll out with this one.
I struggled to talk about this when it broke, not just Kelvin Kiptum, but I think his manager, some other persons that were, in this tragedy with him. I pray that the soul of Kelvin Kiptum will rest in peace. After the show, I think we'll have some time to listen to Kenya President and World Athletic Chief at that funeral service in Kenya. That's it. The game between Nigeria and Libya, 75-72. Mike Noga now with 30 points in that one, 7 rebounds and 3 assists. I don't know if it's over, but it's 75-72. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Right, I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos. We'll leave you with pictures coming from that funeral service of Kelvin Kiptum, and also listen to World Athletics President Sebastian Coe and the President of Kenya, William Ruto. Have a good night's rest.